G'day guys, how you doing? It's Sparrow, back again with another video. This time we have a new team and we're going to continue our climb up the ladder of the underused tier. Currently I'm going to use a Yanmega team just so I can show off what it does. I know it's in the lower tiers, but I just want to show it off early and hopefully I can show it off once we get further down and into the higher level play. So looking at this team, I'm starting off with a Scissor. I run Speed Creep on Scissor for Muck that do like to try and outspeed bulky Scissor and hit it with a Fire Blast. And I'm heavily invested in defenses. The reason for my HP investment is that's the leftover number for Scissor's recovery. You only lose, you're only losing like 4 or 5 HP out of your bulk by taking out this much HP. It could be considered fairly significant, but I don't mind it. Next up we have Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat's fairly important for this team. It's a decent pivot that comes in on Manectric other than Muck and Nidoqueen. It also threatens Scissor quite well. It can come in and hit the Will-O-Wisp and Hidden Power Ice versus Amoonguss, Gliscor Cores, and Volt Switch out of the Latias switch into Muck. So I really enjoy that. Latias is the main Pokemon that can switch in on a Choice Specs can Revenge KO as Choice Specs Yanmega. And looking at the team, it really does trouble the team. So Rotom Heat is a nice lure to the Latias for Muck to come in. Next up I have Altaria Mega, which I think is fairly underrated with the Dragon Dance set that I'm running. In this case I'm running quite a bit of speed and not as much bulk. The main reason is at +1 I'm able to outspeed Mega Manectric. Looking at this team, Yanmega and Scissor are very threatened by it, and none of these Pokemon, these 4 Pokemon here, 1, 2, 3, 4, don't have recovery. Yanmega's recovery is Giga Drain, so I just needed an offensive Pokemon that could beat it in the late game, so that's the reason for the speed on Altaria. Next up I got Yanmega. Yanmega with a Choice Specs I think is really good at the moment. It 4 times resists fighting attacks and grass attacks. So that's pretty much the main draw to it. The second draw that I think makes it very viable in the meta at the moment is Tinted Lens Choice Specs boosted attacks. 2-hit KO is the majority of the meta, and this team's designed to take out everything else that walls it. Next up I have Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is a nice switch into fairy types aside from Muck, and Muck's really a dedicated trapper of sorts, so I don't like to switch in Muck on fairy types. Nidoqueen is very difficult for bulky builds to switch into and offensive builds. In terms of the stall matchup here, it also just lures Blissey, and that's pretty much the secondary reason why I use Muck here. In this case I run quite a lot of speed on my Muck. The main purpose here is to outspeed bulky Scizor, which my Scizor runs speed to outspeed that Muck. Also run a bit more attack investment than most Assault Vest Muck would run. The reason for this is I can 2-hit KO Blissey with Gunk Shot, and you know, it becomes a mind game with Pursuit, and once Blissey's in a particular range, this team has a really great time versus stall, especially with Yanmega. Anyway, less about the team. Let's get into the battles. 3 I think. There we go. That's the team. Let's do it. First battle, we're looking at Slurpuff and Ambipom. Pretty cool team by my opponent, but I'm gonna say it outright. This team's not viable. Slurpuff folds to the biggest threat in the metagame, and Ambipom is kind of underwhelming. Yes, it does beat Latias, but who's going to leave their Latias in on bloody Ambipom? So with that, I've already got a good gauge of my opponent's skill level here. He's probably going to leave with Ambipom and Fake Out. So knowing that, I'm going to go Scissor. It's bulky Scissor. It can tank a Fire Punch. I just want to see what his intentions are here. I'm going to go for Bullet Punch first of all. He's likely gone for Fire Punch. Yeah, there you go. And he gets the burn. That's okay. I just have to be very careful of his Slurpuff now. That's actually a bit annoying. But looking at it, what is Slurpuff set up on? Probably Choice Specs Yanmega's Bug Buzz. Let's have a look. Choice Specs Slurpuff. If I get Stealth Rock up, it can't reliably set up. Bug Buzz is 81.3% chance to one-hit KO. Knowing this, I think my play here is just to get this damage on Ambipom. Scissors really useless now, which is sad. Luckily he doesn't have a Stealth Rock user, but I guess that comes with poorly made teams. I'm going to go Altaria and Dragon Dance. It forces him to go Scissor after Ambipom switches. I could also just go in Yanmega here. Yanmega takes a hit. It just means he'll be in range of Bullet Punch next, which I have Rotom hit for. I think that's the play. He doesn't really have a switch into Yanmega at the same time. So that's my logic here. I might lose this game, boys, but what can you do? Anyway, it's fairly early in the morning for me. Actually just came back from training. Oh, he's made a really clever play. Good play, mate. That's alright. Yanmega was nice for this matchup. But at the same time, I'm just going to Volt Switch. He's likely going to go to his Latias here, which is trapped by Muck. I still have my Altaria as a win condition. He just goes to Alomomola. That takes a shit ton. Nidoqueen, he still has no switch-ins too. Latias might come in for free here, but I can Pursuit Trap it with Muck. Yeah, so as I was saying, I have training early in the mornings. I had training at 5:30 this morning. I do rowing, and it's not traditional rowing that you might think about when I mention it. It's surfboat rowing. Surf lifesaving is a core part of what I do with myself outside of Pokemon, and I really enjoy it. So maybe in the future I can show you guys photos and footage of me in the boat rowing. It's pretty entertaining to watch. Alright, so my opponent has let me trap his Latias. That's really good. He's probably going to go for a Mungus and Spore here. I'm okay with that. Muck has done its job. He might go to Alomomola. In that case, I'm just going to knock off. I have Poison Touch, which has a good chance to poison him, and it removes leftovers. He goes for his own knockoff, but what are you trying to do here? His only special attacker is walled by Muck anyway, so that's fine by me. I get another free hit and another chance to poison. He's also deciding not to go for Wish and Protect. Again, I'm not complaining here. I'm going to go for knockoff into his Amoonguss. He's likely going for Spore, so I'm just going to Gunk Shot. It's stronger than Fire Punch, and it's stat boosted, and it hits the Alomomola. So that's my explanation for my play there. I'm going to go for Gunk Shot again. If he goes to Scissor, good play. At the same time, I'm just trying to catch a Mungus. His Regenerated Core is not going to do too well against this. I feel like Scissors his play here. I have Fire Punch for that. Muck just damages everything. If he's max speed Scissor, or runs any kind of speed on Scissor, I'm okay with that. Fire Punch just stops him from setting up too easily. So he just shows that he's Choice Banded. I have Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen pretty much walls his ulti. Pretty much has no switch-ins now that Latias is gone. Alomomola comes in, and I can just spam Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave does a decent amount to Amoonguss, and I'm just going to keep clicking it. Actually, I was going to click Earth Power. It just meant that Scissor didn't get a free switch in there. So, sadly, we don't get to see Yanmega do anything this match. But at the same time, I'm just showing off that this team does pull its weight versus the metagame. It's probably going for, I thought he was going to go for a knockoff. Scissor's not coming back in. Sludge Wave does a decent amount to his Alomomola. It actually one-hit KOs it at that range. That's a wrap, boys. That was a quick first game. I did get a bit worried when he made the smart pursuit play versus Yanmega. That was a really good play. At the same time, he really put himself in a bad situation by using Ambipom and Slurpuff to begin with. So that's all I can say about that. Alright, my opponent's decided to leave. His Scizor just dies to Stealth Rock anyway, so I'm going to find the next match. So yeah, I do apologise if my commentary is a bit lackluster today. I am a little tired and I wanted to get a video in before I go to work. Alrighty. Here's a better looking team. I have Rotom, which actually really threatens him. It's slower than Kyurem, but Kyurem or Kyurem, whatever you call it. At the same time, what's Kyurem going to do unless it's Draco Meteor? He's probably going to lead with it. In that case, I might lead with my Scizor just to scout what he goes for. If he turns out to be Choice Specs, I'm not too upset with that. So I'm going to go Scizor and scout by going to Muck straight away on his Kyurem. Decides to go Manectric. He makes the HP Ice play. That's really good on him. I believe Nidoqueen has a good chance to survive the 2-hit KO on HP Ice. He goes for Flamethrower. Good middle ground. I feel like he's going to go for HP Ice here. Or double. It looks like he's gone for HP Ice. I just need Chip on Manectric because that threatens my team the most here. Get 54%. No Poison Touch. That's okay. So here's an interesting situation. Empoleon is likely going for Stealth Rock. I don't want to get my Muck burned because it also walls his Superior. I'm going to go to Yanmega and go for the Bug Buzz. I have switch-ins to his Crobat, namely Scizor with Defog. And Yanmega doesn't mind the burn. He's probably going for Scald. If he goes for Ice Beam, he caught me out. But Bug Buzz does a decent amount, and it has the special defense drop chance. I don't know if this is going to KO. Again, this isn't a matchup that Yanmega isn't the most proficient in dealing with, but at the same time, it's done decent damage to Empoleon to the point where Altaria can have a good chance to sweep now because Earthquake will take it out. He's probably, if he goes for Brave Bird, he's likely aware that Rotom and Scizor can come in. At the same time, he knows Rotom's going to take Stealth Rock Chip. And if he's Supersonic Sky Strike Crobat, which he's not because he's leftovers, he wouldn't mind Brave Birding anyway. I'm just trying to think whether I need Yanmega. It speed ties Kyurem, and it can go through sub with Bug Buzz. I don't know if he's going to U-turn here. I don't know if that's his play. He's looking at my team and thinking Brave Bird seems pretty logical. I'm going to just make the big boy play and go Bug Buzz. Cross Poison. So that really gives me a good idea of what my opponent's knowledge is of the metagame. Scizor would have been the play there if I knew he was running such a bad set with Cross Poison. You really want just Brave Bird, U-turn, Roost, and either Defog or Taunt. Or sometimes Haze works as well. Really, he's just let me defog his hazards away. If I had gone to Scizor there, Cross Poison on Crobat is really redundant because Steel types are normally switching into Crobat anyway, and they all resist Brave Bird. Okay, so looking at my opponent's option, he's probably going to go HP Ice here. He makes a clever switch. That's okay. I forgot I run Bulk on Muck. Speed on Muck. Speed on Muck lets me outpace Scizor, and I know Scizor is naturally faster than Empoleon, I believe. Let's have a find out. Scizor. Yeah, so Scizzor's naturally faster than Empoleon, so I run a Muck that outpaces 0 speed Empoleon anyway. I was lucky to get a crit, but I don't think that particularly mattered. I think my opponent's going to go for Earth Power here. I believe Muck survives that. I get damage on this. We're looking pretty good late game with Altaria. So I'm going to go for the knock just to remove its item. It's probably Choice Specs, to be honest. Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf. That's annoying because now I know he's going to go for Earth Power here if he has it. At the same time, I know this Kyurem's really weak now. I don't have switch-ins to it either. Gunk Shot does a decent amount. And I get the poison this time. So Gunk Shot has... I'm just checking whether it's contact move. Gunk Shot doesn't say it's contact, but it has a 30% chance to poison. So same level as Scald. In this case, Brave Bird does very little to bulky Scizor, and I get the Defog off here. Defog's nice for Rotom and Altaria. It also just means I'm not taking 12% each time I go to Muck here. My opponent's likely going for Manectric, yep. At this stage, I really want to keep my Scizor for his Superior and for Sylveon. Rotom Heat seems like the logical play. If he goes for HP Ice, it tanks that as well. If he goes for Volt Switch, good to play. He just goes for Flamethrower. Looking at my opponent's team, he has no switch into Z Overheat here. If he's bulky Sylveon, I just go straight to Scizor. If not, it's taking a lot of damage here. Let's find out what he's running. He's not bulky. Well, okay. He must be physically invested. My fault for assuming that it actually took less there. At the same time, my opponent leaves. Good game, mate. One last match, guys. I'm going to keep it to 3 matches. I had a suggestion from someone that has been following the channel, and they said 3 matches would be easier to keep up with, and it just makes the video shorter. So let's get this 3rd match going. Last match of the day. Hopefully it all works out. Here we go. We got the stall matchup. I'm excited because after Stealth Rocks go up and I Volt Switch around quite a few times and Pursuit Trap that Blissey with Muck, we have a field day with Yanmega. So knowing this, knowing that Rotom's really threatening to him, I'm going to lead with it. If that's Choice Specs Kyurem, it's a little bit annoying because it's going to chip Muck quite a bit. At the same time, I feel like I can go to Scizor on the Draco and just roost off the damage. Just to prove to you that I can roost off the damage, I'm just going to show you a calc in regard to Scizor. I think I was at 28. 2, 4. Kyurem. Choice Specs. Draco does that much. After the special defense drop, I can roost off that damage. So I don't want to wait for my opponent. We could cop our first loss here depending on hacks and depending on how my opponent plays. We're still relatively low ladder. Pyukumuku, I think it takes heavy damage from Nidoqueen, to be honest. And I can knock off its item with Muck because it can't touch Muck. There you go. Sludge Wave, 2-hit KOs. And also, let's just check the Yanmega calc on Pyukumuku. Bug Buzz, 2-hit KOs as well. So, Yanmega has a really good matchup once Blissey is chipped low by Muck. So my intention here is to lead with Rotom and just go for the Volt Switch. I have Hidden Power Ice for Gliscor, which might throw him off guard and just make him switch straight away to Blissey. I have Scizor to scout Kyurem's moveset early, and I feel like once I've got Stealth Rock up with Nidoqueen, that's my sleep fodder with Amoonguss. If he leads Amoonguss here, it's a little bit annoying. Again, I'm just going to stick to my main strategy and probably let Nidoqueen take the sleep, and if not, Yanmega isn't touched by 4 out of 6 of his members here. So it's got plenty of opportunity to come in and try to break out of sleep. Pyukumuku can't toxic Yanmega while it's asleep. HP Fire is Amoonguss's best move to touch Yanmega. Play Rough from Klefki, but it risks Yanmega waking up and taking an Air Slash from it, which is a neutral hit. considering Tinted Lens. And Gliscor can't touch if it's Toxic, Earthquake, Taunt, Shenanigans. Otherwise, Yanmega is only 2-hit KO'd by a +2 facade from Gliscor, which gives 2 turns of sleep. I don't know if my opponent's there. That's sad. I wanted to show you guys this matchup. Would have been quite interesting, to be honest. In that case, I won't count this as a third match. I'm just going to go straight on to... hopefully he's not timer stalling. Let's just find out. Straight on to another match. I don't count that as a third match. That's not fair on you guys. This match is over. Oh, here we go. Straight into it. Okay, Darmanitan. Darmanitan is probably a very annoying for this team. It is very annoying. I'm sorry. Mega Altaria can tank its hits. I guess my strategy here would be to Mega Evolve early. He won't be if he leads with Darmanitan and U-turns versus Mega Altaria. I can go straight for Earthquake, which actually 2-hit KOs both his Steel types, especially Aggron before it Mega Evolves. So I feel like that's a fairly logical and reasonable play. I'm going to Mega Evolve early with Altaria here because I don't want it to switch in on Stealth Rocks if it comes down to that in the late game. Hopefully it doesn't, but I'm just going to play my cards and go from there. He does lead with Aggron, good play. Nidoqueen seems like the logical switch here. He doesn't like switching into Earth Power. Aggron doesn't do much damage to Nidoqueen either. I might just go for an Earth Power here because I don't know what my opponent's going to go for. Just means it's going to chip Aggron for Mega Altaria in the late game as well. That's my logic. He goes for Dragon Tail, brings in Altaria. That's fantastic actually, because now I'm just going to go Earthquake. And really, what has he got to wall this? He might have Ice Beam on Kyurem. Again, I'm going to go to Scissor to scout the set. If he makes a big boy play and deep HP fires with it, that I would have been quite content with my opponent making a decent play like that. Looking at this, I don't mind if Altaria is burned. He might have Ice Beam, but I know it can tank the Ice Beam. He knows that I'm physically inclined now. Earthquake will 2-hit carry his Empoleon, unless he's Sugar Berry. If I do get burned here, it's not a huge deal. The main thing I'm worried about is Toxic. It does get a bit annoying. At the same time, Earthquake does big damage. He goes for he has the Flash Cannon. Why didn't I expect it? I don't know. I just wasn't expecting that. This means I have to pretty much tiptoe around Darmanitan now. Didn't want to come to that. Let's just show you the Muck Cup first Darmanitan. I believe at full it would have survived the Flare Blitz, but I've taken Stealth Rock damage now, and I believe his best play was going straight to Darmanitan there. There you go. Crocodile. Can't say I agree with that. I get a free defog here. Goes for Knock. Okay, thanks for that, buddy. Knock isn't doing anything this season next time it comes in. His best play is Darmanitan here, and my best play is just to get Bullet Punch damage on it. I still have Yanmega that can... Oh, he goes for Superior. Can't say I agree with that, buddy, but you do get the evasion. So, okay, good play. Nothing like switching into a Z overheat here. If he subs, I'll be impressed. He might glare. I doubt it. Chip on Darmanitan, I'm happy with as well. I believe Z moves actually, they don't take into account your evasion boosts. I don't know. I don't play the cartridge format, so I couldn't tell you. Flare Bits from Darmanitan is looking like a clean sweep here, which is really scary. I think I need to save Rotom just to take one Flare Blitz so I can get off some damage. If my opponent's clever, he knows this, and he's going to make that. He's going to make the intelligent play. Check out that damage from Flare Blitz. Very scary. I guess my main hope here is to Going for Willow. I've lost Rotom to Flare Blitz anyway. Stone Edge comes out. That's fine by me. He gets the... I forgot. I forgot he was Moxie. I played this terribly. Maybe I should have ended on that third match there with the forfeit. At the same time, I don't know why he stayed in. Flare Blitz is looking like a wrap anyway. That's his best bet against me. Hopefully he's some weird Darmanitan set. I really needed to keep Altaria, and I should have suspected Flash Cannon. It is low ladder. Flash Cannon does hit fairy types. I didn't suspect Flash Cannon considering he has Mega Aggron. So I'm really kind of surprised by it, but at the same time, I shouldn't be. Bullet Punch comes out. That damage from Ice Beam says to me it's likely Choice Specs. Let's just have a quick look while we're here. So the main thing here is I should have not been impatient and scouted Flash Cannon on Empoleon. I got a little bit greedy and I paid for it at the end of the day. So I'm not upset because it was my own fault. Ice Beam, Choice Specs. Interesting. It's not Choice Specs. It's Choice Scarfed. Okay, mate. He might not be Choice Scarfed. He might be Z move. I'd really like if he went Darmanitan here, to be honest. Let's see what he does. The other side of it is I didn't endeavor to get Stealth Rock up early, which meant that Darmanitan wouldn't have liked taking recoil from multiple Flare Blitz. I know at this stage Darmanitan wins. It just depends on how intelligent my opponent is here. If he switches and takes the knockoff, yep, so he was likely Z move or dare I say Assault Vest. He was Assault Vest. I just noticed then. Oh. Guys, I lost to Assault Vest Kieran. Oh no. He's very likely Choice Scarf. If not, this is a speed tie, and if I win this speed tie, that's match. It was a speed tie. I got really lucky, guys. I hope I adequately explained why I made the play against Empoleon. At the same time, I shouldn't be surprised. I should have played that a bit more intelligently. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.